Hi, welcome to Client Stories with DNAngels. My name is Amy and I am a search angel. Imagine spending over 40 years searching for a single connection, a lifeline to a family you never knew, a heritage you longed to embrace, and a sense of belonging you've always craved. For Kenny, this wasn't just a dream, it was his reality. A reality of unanswered questions, closed doors, and a relentless hope that one day he would find his truth. The remarkable journey of Kenny, a man who went from having no known relatives to discovering a family so large and welcoming, it completely transformed his life. And trust me, by the end of this story, you're going to want to leave a red heart for Kenny to support his journey. Kenny was born in 1959 and given up to the Catholic Charities in Hammond, Indiana. And from the moment I met Kenny, I knew I wanted to take his case because I live very close to Hammond, Indiana, and I thought it was pretty cool that I would get somebody so close. Now, Kenny does now live in the foothills of Oklahoma, brewing up moonshine and just enjoying the simple pleasures of life. He actually lives on a Cherokee reservation, which is a point you're going to want to remember for later in the story. A surprising twist that started in the very beginning when I first started sorting through Kenny's DNA matches was that Kenny and I had a close DNA match together. Now, Kenny and I are not related, which I thought would have been cool if we were cousins, but we match the same person on two different sides of the tree. So I match on her paternal and he matches on her maternal side. So I did start mapping there first because I knew her family tree. So as I began to piece together Kenny's DNA matches, I realized that his biological parents could be these two people who were married in 1946. Now remember, Kenny was born in 1959. Records indicated that they were only married briefly before splitting up. So that was a little bit confusing. And as I was expanding the tree, I noticed that two other couples from the two families had also gotten married. So he could be on either of these lines. Now, he did have some closer DNA matches, but at the time I wasn't able to figure out where they belonged in the family tree. I needed help. So at that point, Kenny had shared his 23andMe DNA results, and we stumbled upon a breakthrough. A man that turned out to be his great nephew. I was able to find that great nephew and contact information for his mother and decided I'm going to give her a call. And this was where the story took a funny turn. So if anybody has ever made a cold call to a relative before, it can be a little bit nerve-wracking, and you never know what you're going to get, honestly. So I called and I just started spitting it out. I think that your grandparents had another child by the name of Kenny, and he's looking for his biological family. He was born in 1959. He is a close DNA match to, and I named the people he was a close DNA match to. And she said to me, listen, I don't know who you are calling on this Sunday morning, drunk as you are. You sound like you've been drinking all night long with this story. And I died laughing. I'm like, okay, well, that was really funny. She called in everybody in the room and said, do you know what this lady is saying to me on the phone? It was so funny. I did end up telling her the whole story, and finally she did believe me, and she was ecstatic. She said, I want to talk to him, give him my number. So that is exactly what I did. She helped me place some people in the family tree, confirming that his biological parents were who I had originally thought they were. They were married in 1946 and had a very tumultuous relationship, and they shortly divorced afterwards. Now, his biological father did move on to get married again, but kept coming back for years. I mean, they got divorced in 1946 and gave birth to Kenny in 1959. When Kenny was born, they decided to give him up for adoption, and it was later confirmed that his biological father signed his rights away from his original adoption paperwork. his half-sister, I believe, was able to identify her biological father's signature. And the most incredible part of this story is I was able to tell Kenny that he not only had a half sibling, he had 2 full siblings. And that's not something you get to tell people very often. He was ecstatic. He went from having 0 blood relatives to having sisters, full blood sister, half sister, nieces, nephews, and great nieces and nephews. He spent 40 years wondering where he came from, and he was overjoyed with love from so many members of the family. They have formed an incredible relationship. I have formed a friendship with Kenny. I absolutely love him. He is hilarious. He is always posting about his family and how happy and thankful he is for DNAngels. In fact, Kenny's words still echo in my mind. He said, the best thing is I know who I am. I know my heritage, my nationality. You have no idea how much I'm loving my family. Thank you for helping me feel whole. He went from having no blood relatives to forming relationships with his family. And for a man who spent his life in the hills of Oklahoma, making moonshine and enjoying the simple pleasures of life, this discovery brought richness that he could have never imagined. Kenny's journey has been my most memorable story of 2024, and I'm so grateful to have been a part of it. It's a testament to the power of perseverance, DNA technology, and the incredible connections that bind us all. If Kenny's story has inspired you, please leave a red heart in the comments and let's show Kenny just how many people are celebrating his newfound family and his incredible story of hope and discovery. Because at the end of the day, stories like Kenny's remind us all that what truly matters, knowing who you are, where you come from, and finding the people that make us feel at home. Thank you for watching.